Okay, looks like we should be live. So, good morning. If anybody hasn't been watching, so yesterday's stream, we started off after just finishing Kamoshida's Palace. And we managed to finish the palace in about two. We finished the palace in 2 in-game days, so we had a fair amount of free time left. So yesterday was pretty much just. Yesterday we just did a few social links, worked on some of our main character's stats, while we were waiting for Kamoshida's change of heart, that just happened. So that's where we are. That's where we are right now. And I forget what I wanted to do tonight. I think we have midterms coming up here pretty soon next week. So what I wanted to do was try and get our knowledge up to level 2. Because I think if we get knowledge up to level 2 before the first midterm, we can at least do okay on it. So I think tonight we're probably just gonna study. Yeah, we got everything else up to level 2. So I think tonight we're just gonna study again. And then 5-2. We should be pretty close to unlocking Mementos. I think we get Mementos in just a few more days. So realistically, once we get Mementos unlocked, if I'm remembering this right, that's probably what we'll do. At least for a good chunk of the stream. Run and check. I can't remember. Oh, I can't leave yet at night. Yeah, so let's just go. We'll study. Get our brain good. And then that should be it. So we'll hopefully do we'll hopefully get a good bit done today, is my goal. I definitely like to study.
Now listen up.
I think we're going to rank up with Igor soon, too, so we can carry some more Personas. I'd like to see what else we can fuse. We're doing okay on Personas. We already...
Make sure you close up.
We're level 11. Most of our Personas are around 10 or 11, so we're not doing too shabby.
Can I talk?
So that's pretty much it. I think that's all we're worried about for right now. So we're still pretty early. Our options aren't huge yet, so... Still can't get to rank 2. I hope we can pull it off before the. Hope we can pull it off before the midterm. Running out of days here. I think midterms start on the 9th or the 11th. So we'll just have to keep at her. And we did a decent bit of our social links last time. We got like 2 ranks with the doctor.
Okay.
Got a couple ranks with Ryuji. I think we got at least 1 with Sojiro. So let's help him out in the cafe. I really end up liking Sojiro a lot, actually. He's kind of a dick in the beginning. So now the story about Kamoshida is finally starting to spread. We made the news. Nobody understands why. Nobody knows really about the Phantom Thieves yet. Now it's all hitting the fan. It's all coming to light.
Hey.
We'll just pretend we don't know what's going on.
Jeez.
We don't want Sojiro to think we're up to anything bad. You know, we're a model student. We're a good kid. We wouldn't cause any trouble. Eventually, as we hang out with Sojiro more, we'll unlock some more stuff we can do in the cafe. But for right now, it's still pretty low. Not much going on. So Sojiro just wasted our whole day. Our whole day off got wasted. I'm not even sure if we get the evening block of time tonight. That's what I was worried about last time. I think I talked about how after the change of heart happens, you kind of get railroaded into a couple days worth of story stuff. So I've been trying to focus on. I wanted to really try and get that knowledge up to level 2 before the exam. But I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen. We're running out of days here. And I definitely want to spend some time in Mementos. So that'll be a day wasted. Well, not wasted, but we won't be able to work on anything else. So everybody's pretty excited. We really did it. We took Kamoshida down, and nobody really knows it's us. There's a few rumors going around school, but you know, no one's gonna believe that we went into a a metaphysical castle and stole his heart. So seems like we're in the clear right now. So let's see what we get stuck doing tomorrow. So it's been a while since I played this. I played it was around summertime I played. So it's been quite a few months. I still remember
Make sure to do the dishes.
a good bit of the game. But it's been a while, so this isn't quite a blind playthrough. We don't want to be a jerk. We'll make sure to take care of it when we get back. We promise.
Just do it. Don't get cocky with me.
Come on, Sojiro. Give me a break,
Welcome.
man. So this lady should
Am
look
I
familiar. She was the one
interrupting
who was she was interrogating us when we have the flashbacks when we unlock our new social links, and she's always asking us about them. So everybody should hopefully recognize her if you've been watching.
Not at all.
And she is a well, public prosecutor is what they call them in Japan. I guess the equivalent here would be like a district attorney.
The cause of the runaway train incident in the subway the other day still has not
And we
been
have
found.
no idea what she's doing here with Sojiro.
Police are hurrying to solve the matter as it may relate to the rise in psychotic breakdown incidents.
Oh, is that the thing everyone's been talking about?
Doesn't it make you curious?
Sojiro's got the TV on all day, but apparently doesn't pay attention because they talk about this all the time.
People who were living normal lives suddenly went mad or deranged out of the blue. Not to mention that it's happening one after another.
And there's been lots of chatter about this. If you've been paying attention, even in the little scene transitions from like day to night when they show Shibuya and you hear people whispering on the street, everybody's getting pretty scared about people just losing their minds.
Leaving that aside, what do you have?
I'll have the house blend, please. Are you a part-timer? I'm surprised this place can afford one.
Actually, lady, we're a hardened criminal.
That's exactly the case.
Are you a high school student? Where do you attend?
We don't trust the police. Let's give her a hard time.
It's Shujin Academy.
Oh, someone I know goes there as well. I've heard that things are rough right now.
You could say that.
A teacher named Kamoshida confessed his crimes like he was a completely different person, supposedly.
You
And
don't
it
say.
happened all of a sudden one day.
I'll be damned.
Can a person's mental state change so easily?
Huh.
Is my drink ready yet?
Coming right
I don't
up.
think we really get to find out. I don't think we get too much info as to why she's here yet. There's more questions than answers for sure in the beginning of the game, but it'll all start to make more sense as we keep going. So let's see. We need to go and visit the airsoft shop. I want to check the. I can't remember if I checked the vending machines last time. Oh, I can't even do it right now because they won't let us do anything else. That's probably my number one complaint with the early game, is they really, I mean, I understand why they do it, because if you are new to the series, there's a ton of stuff going on. They really hit you hard with everything. So I understand why they kind of try and push you towards only certain things for at least the first month or two. But it gets kind of annoying your second time through when you don't really, you know, like I know how to handle this stuff. But everything will open up soon enough. I don't know, buddy. Alright, so let's go sell our metal. Let's save.
I should write
quick.
something.
But yeah, things should open up soon enough here. We only have, let me double check, I wanted to see when midterms start again. The 11th. So we have a week from today to get our knowledge up to 2. And a couple of those days we're not going to get to do much of anything. So I don't know if we're going to pull it off or not.
Huh?
So let's pawn off Kamoshida's gold medal.
Hey.
I love the gun shop theme. Really, the whole soundtrack's pretty good. I love like the weird, almost like the acid jazz type deal. But very chill. I could listen to the soundtrack all day. It's very relaxing. I don't think we can actually bullshit him into giving us more money, so we'll just take the 30. We'll take the 30 grand for our stolen medal and be happy with what we got. We should just be happy he's not asking any questions about what a teenager's doing with a gold medal. We'll just roll with it. And I think this is we'll just roll with it. I think this is where we can start to... I think we need more guts, but when we come back with that bag, we can start to work on the social link with this guy. I don't even know if they've actually said his name yet. I think it's a Y. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. Oh, it's right there in front of me. Alright. So let's get out of here before the police give us a hard time. So the word on the street is that the airsoft shop owner is into some shady business, if anybody hasn't been watching since the beginning. And it looks like they're gonna play good cop, bad cop. But he's not scared of the cops. Just harassing all his legitimate customers, you know, we're just trying to do some business transactions. Let's see. Are we being detained?
See ya.
Okay. So let's see what we can do today. What our options are. Yeah, I don't think we can do anything with the bag yet. I don't really think this answer matters.
Okay. Hey, wait!
Super detailed model gun.
Hey, hey!
Yeah,
Now's our
so
chance.
when we ask him about the bag, I think that'll be what kind of kickstarts the social link with this guy. But we need, I think we need a higher level of guts than what we have now, seeing as we're only level 2. So that won't be until later. He really did deserve it. I think I've said it a couple times now, but Kamoshida is a very unlikable character. I think because Kamoshida's not really like a big scheme villain. Kamoshida's like a small fry type of guy, but everybody kind of knows like a Kamoshida. Like the little small town guy who's, you know, head's too big for his shoulders and he thinks he owns the place, and, you know, he just can't let go of his past because he was a big deal way back when or something like that. So, you know, he's much more relatable than some of the later villains who are more like the big picture kind of guy, you know? I think Kamoshida's a good start, though, because he really does. He sucks you in right away. I can't imagine anyone could play this game and not hate Kamoshida from the very beginning. He is incredibly unlikable. This palace is pretty cool, too. They start you off pretty solid. Oh, yeah, so tomorrow's our, Tomorrow we're having dinner with the rest of the squad to celebrate. So I think today is going to be wasted as well, and tomorrow. So we're gonna be cutting it real close on getting smart enough to do okay in our midterms. It's okay. I mean, we don't have to do great on the midterms. Really all you get some stuff from Sojiro. I think it gives you an item. I can't remember if you get money. In some of the previous games, you get money for doing good on the midterms. Mona would love some sushi. He's a kitty. But soon enough, once we get done with...
Okay.
Once we get these next couple events done, we'll be able to really...
Nice.
Yeah, we can't do anything. Mona's gonna make us go right to bed.
Hey,
So your first month is just... You can't do much of anything. They really... They don't give you a ton of options. But that's okay. We got a lot of game left. We're only about 13 hours in. And my first save file... I mean, it was my first playthrough. And I did take it... I took it pretty leisurely. I wanted to get a lot of personas and stuff, especially near the end. I think my first save had like 125 or 130 hours on it. So... I mean, honestly, this one will probably end up... This playthrough's probably going to be about just as long. I really want to show off a lot. There's a lot near the end game that if you're just watching a regular playthrough, you could miss. I mean, a lot of people just playing through this the first time will only make it to like level...
Wonder Lady Han chose this
maybe
place.
60s. Like maybe mid, high 60s, possibly low 70s. And you won't even get to see a lot of the personas, a lot of the really cool endgame ones and stuff. So I definitely want to keep this one hopefully more informative, even though unfortunately it is not a New Game Plus. So we probably won't get to see everything.
Oh
but
yeah, I heard that the police.
I definitely want to try and show off as much as I possibly can this time through. We're gonna try and keep it pretty informative, especially once we get further on and our options open up more. There's a couple cool little tricks along the way that'll really help us out in terms of money and levels, which will basically, that'll open up a lot more options for personas for us.
That's troublesome.
Our names are gonna come
So
up
this is
for
our big
sure.
celebratory
People
dinner
are spreading all sorts of rumors about us
at
in
a super
Kamoshida.
fancy hotel to celebrate knocking Kamoshida down a couple pegs.
But we got him pumped up.
And this is
I
basically
keep hearing
where
stuff
this is
like
where we decide that
fans
we're
and
gonna keep
geeks
doing this. We
really
want
stole
to
his
change the
heart.
world, one person at a time.
I think most people don't believe it, but some of them actually seem grateful.
I know it's been story heavy the last couple streams, but
Look at this.
we are definitely going to be doing mementos today, very soon, I hope. I think
The
we unlock
Phantom
mementos on the
Aficionado
6th or the
website?
7th. It might be the day after today. So hopefully we'll be in mementos very soon, and we can talk about that a little bit. I actually really like mementos. I know a lot of people don't.
Well
But-
done, Phantom Thieves.
We'll be spending some time in there. We'll check everything out. It should be some more action here soon enough.
Now I can keep going too. Thank you for giving us hope.
So after
Pretty cool, huh?
after knocking Kamoshida down, it seems like we've started a little fan club. People are inspired.
I was just desperate to deal with my own problems, but seeing people saying all this feels strange.
Yeah.
So this is where we decide that we're gonna really
What do we do now?
that we're gonna keep going. You're just been too busy chatting. He's still got a whole plate of food in front of him.
Well, of course I'm gonna eat, but...
This place has a time limit!
Oh crap! We only got an hour to eat!
Just 50 minutes left.
I'm not gonna finish all the beef dishes at this pace.
I need to eat my way through the entire dessert menu.
Too busy talking themselves up.
Look after our stuff. We'll snag something for you guys too, don't worry. Oh man, God melts in my mouth.
Seriously? Only meat?
Now, where should I start?
Not even sure what some of the stuff on the table is, especially that. I don't know what the hell. In the middle, it looks like we got like a gigantic
And
sandwich.
she's all about the cake.
Maybe like a ham to the right of that or something. I don't know what that gigantic pile thing is in the back in between Mona and Ryuji.
Oh,
Some of this stuff is it's pretty weird looking though. This is supposed to be a
Hey,
super fancy
calories.
buffet.
shut up! How much do you think one of these costs? I'll never get the chance to do this again. The Wilton Hotel Cake Buffet.
Oh, the Wilton
rumors,
Hotel,
but
huh?
I never thought it'd be so amazing.
Sounds awfully familiar.
Where's our share?
I didn't really know what you'd want, so I just grabbed you some beans.
Beans?
There were some pretty bizarre things there too, so we got you a variety of those. Fried bananas, preserved eggs, and some kind of beans.
Gee, thanks, guys.
More beans?
We put so much on the plate that it got all mixed up. But it should probably still taste good.
So we got a fried banana bean casserole.
This is just plain grotesque.
Maybe that's what the pile is. Maybe the pile is our disgusting plate.
Let's go. These two just don't know what fine dining means. We'll show them. That's reassuring. You guys watch our things while we're gone. Wait patiently for our return.
Oh, it's like a meaty explosion in my mouth.
Ah, Ryuji. Phrasing.
Oh, this part's cream cheese. They're not even listening.
So let's see what we got left on the buffet for us. Mona wants fish. What do we have here? Rice, meat. I think fish is its own category. Yeah, fish. So everybody's really talking about us. We are quite the buzz right now. Well, indirectly. Of course, nobody knows that it's us or that we're even really real, but we are certainly we're certainly starting to make the news. All the rich yuppies are looking down on us. Okay. What does Mona want next? Guess we'll just hit up everything. What do we got over here? Salad. We don't have time for salad. What do we want? Giant dessert? Absolutely. It's still pretty much just all talk about. I think it's all talk about Kamoshida. I mean, I guess our story is pretty unbelievable. I think if we went up to somebody and said we were changing minds by going into their brain and stealing their heart, it does seem a little out there. Oh, Mona doesn't even want salad. Well, let's grab some. Let's see. Can we listen in on these guys? I guess we'll grab some meat. Yeah, Kamoshida spent too much time clinging to his past and it all went to his head. I think that's about right. Okay, and then I think all we have left is rice. We should be all done here. Maybe all these shitty rich people are worried that the same thing might happen to them. Okay. Time to bulk up. Look at that plate. I'm still chowing down on cake over there. Man, I still want to know what that gigantic pile of food is there on the top right-hand corner. very appetizing.
Damn it.
This is awful timely with the holidays just coming and going. My belt felt a couple notches too small a few times in the last week or two as well.
Wait.
Huh?
Ryuji would totally get up and kick your asses if he wasn't too fat to move right now.
I'm stuffed.
I totally panicked when I saw the closed for cleaning sign at the bathrooms.
You were talking big about eating until you puked, but you really did puke. Are you some kind of moron?
I know it's cheap humor, but I never really get tired of watching everybody dunk on
What floor was that
Ryuji.
restaurant on?
We came up to
'Cause
get
he means
here,
well, but he really is a
so
dummy.
It has to be on a lower floor, right?
He's still your bro, though. I like Ryuji a lot. Okay, so if you've been watching since the beginning, the bald guy in the middle there should look pretty familiar to you.
What the?
Now, unfortunately,
There's still no update on the case.
at this point, even the main character doesn't realize who that is.
Not yet.
But so,
Excuse
well, I
me,
guess I'll explain it just
why are you
because
so
some people
calm?
probably haven't
It's
been
not
seeing
something
this.
you should be concerned about.
So the bald guy in the middle with the goofy shades on, he's the one who was trying to sexually assault the woman in the very beginning of the game, and you shove him down, and that guy is the reason that you got charged with a crime and had to leave school and got shuffled into Tokyo because he was trying to sexually assault somebody. And it's like I said, so this is no one even really recognizes yet. Fuck these guys. You owe us an apology.
We're in a hurry.
But yeah, so he should look very familiar.
So you can
if you've been watching
other
since the
people
beginning.
if you're in a hurry?
Even though the main character can't recognize the guy who ruined his life. But this is
Seems
important.
the customer base has changed since I was here
And
last.
he is still just as big of a dickhead as he was
Started
before.
at daycare.
What?
And we don't know his name yet, but that's, I believe his first name is Masayoshi. His last name's Shido. That's really all you need to know for right
Sir,
now.
we don't have time for this.
But he
I
is
know.
a smug fucker. What
Don't
a
bother
dick.
with him.
He almost thinks he recognizes him, but he's still not sure. You would think that face would be burned into your brain forever. But,
What the hell's with that bossy guy?
what do I know?
Shouldn't we head back down?
I mean, if some guy ruined my life, I think I would remember him for a long time. I might even hold a little bit of a grudge, but apparently our boy brother just can't put two and two together just
That
yet.
dick really pissed me off. He wasn't even hiding the fact that he looks down on everyone.
Me too, Ryuji.
Don't lose your temper over this.
Such a hothead.
I just can't forgive shitty adults like that.
Damn shitty adults. Oh. He's so close. He's almost putting the pieces together.
What's wrong? You sure? You're not looking so hot.
It's probably because he never eats well. I'm always stuck with canned cat food,
It's probably
too.
because we ate about 40 pounds of buffet food, be my guess.
That sir bullshit makes me sick.
Alright,
Damn it.
Ryuji. Calm down. Okay, so that should hopefully be it for today, I think. Almost. I really want to get moving on to the next day here. I'd really like to get
What
mementos
took you
unlocked.
so long?
Why are you all pissy?
Sorry. I had a run-in with some woman a second ago. She bumped into me, but then said it was all my fault when she dropped her plate.
Sounds like a real bitch.
You just in a really bad mood
Yeah.
today.
Thanks, though. But the restaurant workers all looked at me with this disapproving expression. I wonder if we're out of place here.
Some people are just always gonna give you shit.
Hey, Morgana.
What is it?
Anyone could have a
They
palace.
look at us
huh?
weird because we're carrying around a cat in a bag.
Anyone with a strong, distorted
Maybe
desire.
it's even got nothing to do with us just being kids.
Same for them having a change of heart if their treasure gets stolen.
That would be the case.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden?
We had trouble earlier too. These selfish shitheads who just look down on everyone else. I was just wondering if we'd be able to change those kinds of people too.
You mean you want to continue as the Phantom Thieves?
I don't think we should. This seems like
I've
a
been
good spot
thinking.
to. This seems like a good spot to end the game.
We put a lot of work into changing Kamoshida's heart, but nobody believes in the Phantom Thieves. Plus, those guys who had no other choice but to just deal with it are thanking us. Us, of all people.
So basically, we've started
agree.
an inadvertent fan club.
If we ignore people who are in trouble,
We're still
I'd
pretty
go back to
underground
being
right
the
now.
same as I was
Nobody really
before.
believes in us just yet, except for some nutters on the
Well,
internet.
That's true. You're under my tutelage. There's nothing we can't accomplish as Phantom Thieves.
Shouldn't we be able to help him out?
But that means we'll have to fight shadows again, doesn't it?
So now,
Indeed.
this is really
That
it.
can't
We're
be
gonna start up our squad.
I'm sure we'll manage.
I think this is where we get to.
Right.
I think this is where we get to name the. I think this is where we get to actually name the group. And
Even
see.
if you
I
guys
guess
are
I should
still
start
just
thinking of
fledglings,
something.
this means we're an actual organization now.
Fledglings.
I think I have something in
That's actually
mind.
pretty fitting for us.
All right, it's settled.
I
We're
hope
gonna
it'll
catch
fit.
all these shitty adults
Can't
by
remember how many
surprise
characters you get
and make
for a name.
ourselves known to the world.
Are you okay being our leader?
Oh yeah, I think we can handle it.
No objections here. I can't handle all that responsibility stuff.
Where's my say in this? But Lady An made the recommendation, so I'll allow it.
Well, should we decide on a name for our group? I just went with Phantom Thieves of Hearts last time, but don't
All
you
right.
think...
So let's
Ooh, I got it. I want it to be something both cute and luxurious sounding.
you're in luck. I got something cute
me
and luxurious
see.
for you.
How about the diamonds?
Nah.
I'm getting the real Little League Baseball feel from it.
All right.
Well then, here's my suggestion.
Oh,
How
come on.
about
You guys got
Pilefish
nothing.
Soirée?
These are all horrible suggestions.
What?
That's what I ate earlier.
Mona wants to name us after a
It's
fish.
commemorative, no?
Hell no, you idiot.
All right, I got it. Don't worry, guys. Oh, let's see here. I don't think this would be considered offensive. Let's see. So, this should be good. Hey man, how's it going? I think that's good. I think this is a good team name. If anybody has played Persona even a little bit, they should hopefully get what I'm referring to here. If not, just Google. You can Google Persona or SMT Mara. we'll roll with this for now. I just did the Phantoms last time, but we'll have a little more fun with it. Okay. So we finally have a squad.
Not bad at all.
We're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep changing hearts.
A good name.
And I think tomorrow we can finally dig into Mementos and get back
Going
into
with
some
that?
action here. There's so much story in the beginning of this game. But,
Well, now that the name's
It's time.
set, who's our next target?
There are tons of rotten adults and all.
still gotta lay low and wait and see who we're gonna go
Why
after
not
next.
just stick to targeting big names?
Nah, not quite. I have played WoW before, but I never even thought of the dungeon. It's been a while.
Yeah, something along those lines. If we go after some... Don't you think more
So
people
if
would
you've
believe
played
in us if we did
Persona
that?
or an SMT game before, you're probably familiar with Mara. It's one of those shadows or personas that really, it's kind of hard to forget once you've seen it once.
That's not a bad idea. For you, Ryuji.
True.
Yeah, I have.
If
I've
you
played
come
this
with
once
no,
before. This
you
is
might
not
be
a
able
New
to
Game
give
Plus
courage
run,
to a lot more people.
unfortunately. The first time I played through was on PS3, and I don't have the PS3 anymore. So this is a new playthrough on PS4. It's just a regular run, but we're gonna try and we're gonna still try and kind of break this open. We won't get to do everything we've done that you would normally get to do in a New Game Plus, but I'm still gonna try and I want to show off as much of it as possible.
Let's narrow it down to someone we can all agree on that.
I definitely want to make sure we get to show off some of the really high level, like the cool endgame personas. Because if you're just watching a normal playthrough, like a blind one, a lot of people probably won't even get to the point where they confuse those.
I like that unanimous decision part.
And there's a lot of really cool stuff you can show off in the last couple months of the game that I want to make sure everybody gets to see who's watching.
Now then, this is the official formation of
And
the
I mean,
Phantom Thieves
I put
organization.
100 and some hours in the first time. I feel like I know my way around it pretty well. I'm by no means an expert, but I'm more than happy to sit here and talk about Persona all day. So I definitely want to try and keep things pretty
I
informative.
guess we'll just have to talk more tomorrow.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to talk about the ending too much right now. I don't want to talk about I did get the good ending the first time through. I don't want to talk about it too much right now. But I will say, yeah, I didn't
Another
expect
world
any of
in
that
which
coming either.
people's
Like, it
distorted
was pretty cool
cognitions take
what
shape,
happens right at the
stealing
end there
treasure to
with
change
Arsene.
hearts?
I definitely was. It's kind of one of those like fuck yeah moments. Like, it was really cool. I really did enjoy it.
And on
But
top
I don't
of
want to
that,
talk about
a
it too much
talking
because
cat
I don't
told
know
you
if there
all
are some
this.
people who haven't watched before. So we'll save it for a surprise. So 100 and some hours from now, everybody else can get to see it and hopefully be as pumped as I was when I saw it the first time. It's weird that the prosecutor lady doesn't believe that we have a talking cat and we go into people's minds and steal their hearts, but that's okay.
Honestly speaking, that all sounds absurd. It's hard to believe that this is even worth listening to.
Well, they did shoot us up with hella drugs, so maybe we're just still super out of it.
Still, it can't be considered nonsense when parts of it align with Kamoshida's confession.
And so I think
The
now,
same goes for the testimonies
I
of the
think
officers who
tomorrow
arrested you.
after school, I think we can actually go into Mementos.
But so be it.
Who is
At any rate,
is
you mentioned
Curry-san
something more
your
important.
nickname for Sojiro?
These two other accomplices,
I don't think I've heard
besides
that
this
one before.
talking cat thing that appeared in your story. From what you've been telling me, they're students at the same school, aren't they?
Okay, I kind of figured. I just wanted to make sure.
Very well. I'll
Yeah,
leave it at
Sojiro is
that.
cool. I really like
Let's continue
Sojiro.
on.
You know, the first time through, he really does seem like a complete asshole in the beginning, and I really didn't like him that much in the beginning
There are
because
many
he
more
just
events that
gives
I
you such a
must
hard
inquire
time. But
on.
I really felt like,
Lies and false accounts are eventually
especially because I did finish Sojiro's Social Link in my first playthrough, and I really did end
The
up
next
liking
to
him.
receive a calling card was this individual.
He's like your super cool stepdad. What you know, he really ends up helping you out. I like when he comes around to your side.
A master of Japanese
And so they're
arts,
foreshadowing our
Ichiryu
next palace target. We're still a little ways away from that.
It's even more incomprehensible than
we'll see him
Kamoshida
pretty
as to
soon.
why this man was targeted. Where did you come
And then
to know
I'm
him?
gonna make some people
And how
mad
did
when I
you
say
learn of
this,
his
but
crimes when
we
you
get
weren't a
my least favorite party member in this next palace.
Start by telling me what you all...
Because I know some people are in love with Yusuke, but he's too creepy. He's super creepy. We'll get to see soon enough. I guess I don't want to talk about it too much. It's hard for me to it's hard for me to know when to shut up because I've already played before, so I want to talk about it a lot, but then I don't want to spoil too much for everybody who maybe hasn't seen this before. So I don't want to get into it too much. And so we're just talking about we have a whole of course the pun is fan, like Phantom site. But so we have a whole fan site now of people that are rooting for us. Now that they've heard the news about Kamoshida. And really, yeah, 6% is pretty good considering we just started. I'm sorry if you guys hear any background noise, that's the stream dog. If you scroll down, there's a picture of her. Hold on, I'm gonna shut my door in here so you don't have to listen to that. Give me just 2 seconds. Hey Sydney. Hey, you gotta be quiet. That's enough. Relax. Okay. Sorry. All right. So let's keep going here. Well, you know, it's kind of funny about the attractiveness thing. So I don't know. there's a mod for the PS3 version of Persona 5, which lets you play as Adachi from Persona 4, which is super weird because on one hand, you know, when you're playing as a 17-year-old, it seems super weird to me that you can date your teacher and like the doctor and stuff because they're obviously adults. You know, I mean they're a good bit older than you, so it seems super weird to me. But then, so on the other hand, playing as Adachi makes it even creepier because, you know, so as Adachi you can bang the doctor and the teacher, and it's at least a little more normal. But then you could also romance Futaba, which just seems horribly wrong. I'm not huge on the romance options in Persona. I mean, I do always pick one. The first time through, I did Makoto.
Nice.
So we'll probably skip her this time. I don't know who we're gonna shoot for this time through. It's pretty cheesy, but it's still worth seeing them.
Okay.
Okay, so we can't do anything tonight. So same thing as always. We get stuck just going to bed. But I think the next day coming up we do get Mementos, and then we're gonna do a little bit of dungeon crawling for hopefully the rest of the stream today, because there's been a ton of story. I'm ready to get back into actually some combat. I don't really mind either. You know, I mean, this game's kind of split into two halves. You have the social links in between your palaces, you know, and it's basically a heavy chunk of both. You know, you'll spend 10 hours in a palace, and then, you know, you got another 5-6 hours of story. Yeah, it does seem weird. It feels real weird.
First off,
because Futaba's what, like 15? I mean, you're only, I think, 16 or 17.
To think our master would give words of praise.
But yeah, it is a little weird. And I see you said he's Akira. I don't know if you've seen the new canon name for the Persona 5 protagonist, but it's like Ren, and the last name is basically Mamma Mia, which is pretty funny. But I guess that's the name they gave him for the Persona 5 dancing game. But yeah, it does seem a little weird.
Moment, inmate.
I did not use the canon name for my character this playthrough. I just named him Brother. Because sometimes when they refer to the character by name, I can pretend they're doing a Hulk Hogan impression.
You have found your place in reality.
So this is good. I think we rank up with Igor here.
Your rehabilitation.
Yeah, that's why it seems kind of weird, especially with the whole thing, you know, because it's Sojiro's, well, not daughter, but, you know, stepdaughter. So I agree. I never really liked the whole idea of going after Futaba, so we probably will not be doing that one. I'm leaning towards maybe either Kawakami or An, maybe even the Doctor. I don't know. It's like they don't really matter, and I haven't seen any of the other ones, so we'll just kind of we'll decide that later. Either way, we're way far out from there.
Potential. However, it is
so
now, but
now we are gonna get
the strength to stand against.
We should rank up with the Igor. We'll get 2 more Persona slots.
That
which is
the
good. And then, like I said, I think we get mementos tomorrow, so we're gonna dive right in there. And we're gonna hopefully do some more fusions and stuff. I want to get some more of the compendium done, especially now that we can actually carry some more personas. I'll make sure to show off the ones we have now, since we haven't even done any combat or anything yet. We're in decent shape,
Fighting shadows
persona-wise.
and gaining experience is one way. The fusion process I taught you.
I have, right now, I think we
another.
have Oberion, Kurama Tengu, and I can't even remember our third one. But Oberion was great for the Kamoshida fight,
Though it may be presumptuous of us, we have words of wisdom.
because Oberion has resist physical, which Kamoshida's attacks are entirely physical, so it was great. So, like, the entire Kamoshida fight, we didn't even have to worry about Joker dying. I don't remember what I used the first time through, but I don't remember it being that easy.
Your relationships with those you have contracts with.
Yeah, I like On. I almost felt like On was too easy of an option the first time. And,
If you've got time to waste, you'd better visit your contractors, inmate.
I'll throw it out there now. I'll say my personal opinion is Makoto best grill, but it's like I said, we won't do Makoto again this time because I already did it once. So we'll have to, as I keep going, we'll kind of make a decision.
That is another source.
Part of me is leaning towards Kawakami just because I got screwed over by the end game. And I don't want to say it right now, I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but, you know, I got screwed over, so I didn't get to finish Kawakami Social Link in my first playthrough. So I'm leaning towards her just because I can, I'd like to see the end of the Social Link anyway, so we might just end up, we might just be in Hot for Teacher this time. But we're a long ways away anyway.
It seems the rehabilitation is going well.
Yeah, you know, it always
truly
disappointed me
curious
that
occasion.
if you choose to romance Makoto, that you don't get more options. Like when Sai is interrogating you, I always hope they'd throw in. You know, there was no way that Sai couldn't have known that you were that you were her sister's boyfriend. So I always hoped that they would throw something in there in the interrogation bits, but they never really bring it up. I was a little disappointed. I feel like that would have been an obvious thing to throw in there during those little in between scenes, but they never did. I don't think it was ever brought up, if I remember right. So it has been a while. I played, it was probably like, I don't know, maybe like June. Over the summer, I definitely remember.
Alright.
Okay, so now we have 8 personas that we can carry. And I am ready for some action here. So let's get the hell out of the Velvet Room.
Your contractors, inmate.
And, I'm hoping Sojiro will let us out at night for real here soon. I want to get the, Beef Bowl unlocked as a job so we can get the Sun Confidant unlocked here. So I can bail myself out of my horrible negotiating skills. And, what else did I want to do? I want to keep working on the doctor so we can get the SP restoration items. I think that's really it for right now. So we're still at that point, you know, we're only in May. We haven't even played a full month of game time yet, so our options aren't super big yet. And this is just another one of those little things the game kind of feeds you a lot of little in-game events through osmosis. So, you know, you're just walking to school or you're sitting on the train or you hear walking around town. So we can go and do the contest burger at the Big Bang Burger. And I don't think we can do that just yet. I think to do the first Big Bang Challenge, you need to have all your social stats at level 2. Which we're super close. See, I thought the Phantom Thieves as a whole, I thought they were a decent group. The only problem that you really had was the last couple characters showed up so late that I felt like they didn't really get to experience them enough, especially your first time through. Like, I don't think anybody could max out Haru's Social Link their first playthrough. It's like damn near impossible. I know I couldn't. So I felt like some of the later characters did feel kind of weak, But, you know, if you think of the Phantom Thieves, it's like... I'd even include Sojiro, I think. So, you know, if you include, like, Sojiro, Futaba, An, Ryuji, you know, I feel like they're all pretty tight. I didn't have too many complaints about the story of 5. I would say... I don't think 5 was my... I mean, if you're gonna judge the game as, like, a package, like, as an overall, Persona 5 is definitely, I would say, the best one. Story and setting-wise, though, I would say, I think 3 is my favorite, setting-wise. And especially just the characters. Like, I felt like, Junpei was, like, the #1 bro, for sure. You know, so, like, every game, you get, like, that one guy, usually, like, your first social link, and he's, like, your bro for the whole game. You know, so 3 you got Junpei, 4 you got Yosuke, and 5 is Ryuji. And I really felt like Junpei was cool. He was one of my favorites. He was such a doofus, but he was always cool. I like Junpei. So 3 was definitely my favorite, settings wise. And I know a lot of people like to complain about Mementos, but I really like Mementos. And I guess everybody's complaint is that they don't like that it's just randomized and it's not as exciting as the Palaces. But I'm okay with the random. Yeah, I hope so too. You know, I played. I guess if you're watching this later in video format, this conversation won't make a lot of sense. But we're talking in chat about a female protagonist in Persona 6, and I hope so too. Because I mean, honestly, with the main character being like a self-insert and not talking a lot anyway, it doesn't seem like it should be that hard. I mean, you'd have to change up some of the social links a little bit. You know, make the dudes romanceable instead of the women. But and I played Persona 3 Fez on PS2, and I also played Persona 3 Portable. Unfortunately, I never managed to finish it either time. Persona 3 is the only one I haven't managed to play to completion for some reason. It was the first one I played. But I did play the female protagonist in 3 Portable, and if you haven't done that, I do recommend it. I think the female route in Persona 3 is actually really good. I know that may be kind of a controversial opinion. I know a lot of people don't like the female protagonist. But I really did. I thought it was good, and I liked the new social links and the different routes and stuff, so I hope the same thing. It seems insane that with 5 being in development for as long as it had been, that they didn't do that. I mean, I like Joker. Joker's a good protagonist, I think. But I don't see any reason for there to not be another option. You know, I mean, it already takes them forever to make these games. I can't imagine it would take that much longer if they did tweak the social links a little bit. So Kawakami's laying a whole bunch of stuff on us right now. And this is another one of those, I think last time, one of the teachers was talking about, you know, being able to change your mask in different situations. Some of this all kind of rolls into what we're doing in the metaverse. And it's kind of the same thing.
What?
So Kawakami's talking about multiple personalities.
I see.
Come on, give me knowledge level 2. Son of a bitch. No, it's never gonna happen. We're gonna be dumb forever at the rate we're going. Oh man, I really do wanna get to knowledge 2 before this midterm. I don't think you can do good on the midterm, the first midterm, without knowledge 2.
I want to make my friend apologize.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, generally, yeah, most RPGs, especially JRPGs, you don't get a lot of choice in terms of the main character. Which, that is the one thing. I would say generally, genre-wise, I would rather play JRPGs than Western RPGs. But I do love that Western RPGs let you have a lot more character customization. Because I do see what you're saying, for sure. They're much more... You're definitely more railroaded in terms of character choice in JRPGs.
You know that Phantom Thieves rumor about stealing Kamoshida's heart? I wonder if it's true.
But I mean, there's always hope for Persona 6, and honestly, I mean, you figure with the amount of time between Persona 4 and Persona 5, we're probably going to be waiting a while for Persona 6. The only good thing we have in our favor is that Atlas already has a new engine for the PS4, so hopefully, you know, if it took them just 2 years just to work on the engine for Persona 5, hopefully them already having the engine, it won't take as long to crank out another game, so maybe even in another year or two, like maybe before the PS4 is dead, we can actually get a Persona 6, instead of it being like 5 where it comes out on the PS3 and 4 at the same time.
It's gotta be made up. Do you
But,
seriously believe
yeah, I would
it
definitely like to
exists?
have more character options for 6. I agree completely.
But look what happened to Kamoshida. He probably just couldn't keep hiding it after that girl tried to kill herself.
Yeah, you might be right. I guess there's no way they really exist.
Nobody
Most
believes in us yet.
importantly,
No
it
faith in the Phantom
seriously
Thieves.
sucks that our school is going to be known for stuff like this.
I wonder
We'll
if
show 'em
they'll
all,
get their
though.
college entrance.
That's probably a normal reaction for now, but they'll see soon enough.
Yeah, Ryuji.
If we can take care of 2 or 3
Okay,
famous guys,
I really
people
think
will have to
today is
believe we
Mementos
exist.
Day. It's just taking forever for us to get there. They're laying the story on
All
real
those
thick
big
today.
shots. We don't have any leads yet, right? Plus, there's that rumor about you two threatening Kamoshida, too.
Looks like you'll just have to live a normal, honest school life for the time being.
But you know, even if there were rumors about us being the Phantom Thieves, you know, how are you gonna prove it? The story's so ridiculous that no one would believe it
Make sure you stay
anyway.
prepared just in case anything comes up, all right?
Because I mean, there's no physical evidence that ties to anything with Kamoshida. No one's gonna believe that us and our talking cat buddy went into his brain. So I think we're in the
Keep an eye
clear.
out for info on any big shots that might be coming around.
Ryuji's raring to go. He wants
And
our
I'll
next
try to
guy
dig up
already.
Some dirt online.
It's funny, there's kind of that real quick heel turn, like right up until Kamoshida's change of heart. Everybody's super negative, you know. An and Ryuji don't have any faith that we even really pulled it off, and then as soon as it turns out we did, everybody's like, "Fuck yeah! Now we're gonna change the world."
We went and formed the Phantom Thieves group.
But everybody's
we
getting
didn't
pretty
find
amped
a
up
target.
now. Everybody's excited for some action.
There.
I guess sometimes things just don't go the way we want them to.
Excuse me.
And so this is a little bit of foreshadowing here. This is Makoto, and she will eventually be a playable character.
Did you wish to see me, Principal Kobayakawa?
You saw the state Kamoshida-kun was in, didn't you? It's as if his personality has completely
And so basically,
changed.
the principal's gonna have Makoto sniffing around because they're suspicious that we did have something to do with it because of all the rumors.
I'm not sure I follow.
From what I've heard, it appears as though some students were meddling in his business. If they did something to him,
It's weird because in the very beginning, Makoto's like the teacher's pet. You know, she's like president of the student council and like perfect grades.
Are you saying that these students may have caused Mr. Kamoshida
So
to change?
Makoto's kind of unlikable at the beginning, but she ended up being one of my favorites after working on her social link.
that is what I wish to know.
And her
Even if it takes
persona's
some
super
probing
cool
into
too.
student matters.
She was like a permanent fixture in my squad the last time, and honestly, she probably will be again.
It is true that there are many rumors.
But we're a
regarding
little ways
Mr.
out from that yet.
Kamoshida. But do you mean all of this talk about those Phantom Thieves?
It is undeniable that Mr. Kamoshida has changed in some way. I'd like to have a grasp of the cause. This shall also ensure that I handle the mass media and police in the correct fashion.
Oh,
I will continue speaking to Mr. Kamoshida myself. Unless you find whomever did this, these irresponsible rumors will likely never die down.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I think, was Yukari the only character to ever use a bow in a Persona game? I think so. I think Yukari was the only one who ever had a ranged weapon. Well, I guess Naoto in Persona 4 had a gun. That would be pretty interesting, though. Because usually, you know, you don't get very interesting
Don't
weapon
you agree?
choices. Yeah, I would definitely like to see
Your conduct is good.
I would definitely like to
and
see a
teachers
female
favor you.
main character option in the next Persona.
I could write you a recommendation for any college of your choosing.
We'll see. It always seems like Atlas is like perpetually 1 or 2 years behind the times with what's going on.
Thank you.
But then it's kind of weird because sometimes they really surprise you. And I don't know how you feel about. I don't know if you've played for Marcus.
Your sister is
But I felt like they handled Naoto actually pretty well in Persona 4, considering, especially when it actually came out. Brazilian waxes increasing guts. That's pretty good.
If something
So now they're dropping the other bomb on us. So Makoto
that
is
wouldn't reflect very well.
Makoto is Sai Nijima's sister. So near the beginning of today's stream, the chick who came into the cafe to talk to Sojiro, and that's also the same woman who's been kind of interrogating us in the flashbacks. So this chick here, Makoto, is Sai's sister. So they are related.
Do you understand?
Yes.
How wise.
Yeah, so in like 4, Naoto was a girl, but basically who presented as a man because she felt like Naoto wanted to be a cop, and she felt like the Japanese police society was too male-centric. So she presented as a dude, but I always felt like they actually handled it pretty well.
I'd appreciate if you
Which was surprising considering the time. You know, I really thought, especially with the beginning of Naoto's palace, I guess you'd call it, and the whole thing about like the sex change operation, you're kind of like, woof. You know, you're a little, you weren't really sure how they were going to take it, but it actually ended up working pretty well. So I feel like sometimes Atlas can kind of surprise you. So I have high hopes for a 6. I hope it'll end up being pretty good. It's like, you know, we're so far ways out from that. I mean, they've already announced SMT5 for the Switch, and that, best case, we might see SMT5 this year. Maybe. You know, like maybe late 2018, early 2019. And I'm sure we're not going to see a Persona 6 before then. Maybe an announcement. So, you know, realistically, best case, we could maybe see a Persona 6 in, you know, 2019, 2020. We're a good bit away from that. But I do hope they.
My apologies for troubling you at such a busy.
I do hope they give us a female character option. I don't really have too many other complaints with 5 that I would want to see changed in 6. Was it actually an age thing? Because I thought I remembered there being a. It's been a little while since I played 4, and I know she wasn't actually trans. Because it was just how she was worried about, you know, the cops taking a female detective not seriously.
Yes, it's about the matter we discussed
I may be
earlier.
remembering wrong, but I thought there was something about like the Shadow Naoto was going to. It seemed to me like the Shadow Naoto was going to basically try and do a sex change operation on Naoto, but I may be off on
I
that.
have all bases covered. The
It's
investigation will
been
begin
a little
immediately.
while, not too long. I need to go back and replay Persona 4
Yes, I
one of
will
these
get
days,
results.
actually,
I should be able to update you soon.
because I try not to spoil myself on these the first time through. So I played through all of Persona 4, and I inadvertently gave myself the bad ending. It's a little bit harder to get the good ending in 4 versus 5. Like it's pretty hard to screw up and get the bad ending in 5
must
unless
be
you're
going.
really
Thank you very much for your
trying.
time.
But I managed to screw myself and get the bad ending in 4. So at some point, I do want to go back and do a new game plus of 4 and make sure I get the good ending this time, because apparently I missed out on a ton of stuff, and it's my own fault. I didn't want to spoil myself, so I didn't really read anything about it. So I'll have to make sure I pay better attention next time when I go through and play 4. Maybe that's where I'm getting it from. So it has been a while. I just read something about, and you know what it was actually was after all the stuff with Catherine and the new Catherine remake, I remembered reading an article just recently about Naoto because of how they're handling. I've never played Catherine, but I guess there's a trans character in Catherine, And I know apparently they didn't handle that one quite that great. But so I think the article I read brought up Naoto as like a similar scenario to that character in Catherine. So maybe that's where I got it from. So okay, story-wise, the cops are at the school. The cops are at the school looking to see who messed with Kamoshida. But it's like there's no reason for us to be scared. There's no physical evidence here. Rumors or not, how the hell is anybody gonna prove anything? So we're good. We got nothing to worry about. Even though everybody's panicking, Ryuji's super excited. Okay. We are finally done with school. I think today is Mementos Day.
Hey. Have you seen that Phantom Aficionado website?
So if anybody hasn't been watching from the beginning or you're still new to this, let me try and explain what's going on with Mishima. So Mishima is one of our classmates. He was on the volleyball team. When we first got to school, Kamoshida had Mishima
the Phantom Thieves, aren't you?
spread around the school all the rumors about us and how we were this like horrible criminal, and basically Kamoshida threatened Mishima and made Mishima basically ruin our life from the get-go at school. So Mishima feels pretty bad because obviously he didn't want to do that. But along with us and Ryuji getting expelled, Kamoshida was going to try and get Mishima expelled too. So by changing Kamoshida's heart, we basically saved Mishima's ass. So
if things really are,
he feels pretty indebted to us, and he's telling us right now that he actually Mishima is the one who started the fan site for the Phantom Thieves.
Kamoshida used me.
So that's basically him trying to repent. Marcus, I guess, are you talking about you're talking about the trans character in Catherine? It's like, unfortunately, I really don't know anything about Catherine at all.
Just let me know.
I just started getting back into console gaming pretty recently. I've been pretty much PC only for a long time. So I wasn't really I didn't even have a PS3 at the time where Catherine was really out. So I never got to play it. I may have to go back and check it out again now that the remake's gonna come out. I may have to get the remake because I did hear it was pretty good. I know it's supposed to be very different from the SMT Persona type thing, but I know it got decent reviews, so I'll have to maybe check it out when the remake comes out because I don't have my PS3 anymore, so I won't be able to go back and play the PS3 version.
There are many more evil adults outside of Kamoshida.
So
I'm
basically,
sure the Phantom Thieves will do something.
what Mishima wants to do is he wants to use the fan site.
One target.
He wants to use the fan site to reach out to the regular people and try and get us to basically help us find new targets. So Mishima wants to help us change the world indirectly.
That's why I wanted to make a forum where people could post their problems.
He thinks we're the Phantom Thieves. We don't really admit it to him right away. So it's kind of like this, unspoken knowledge.
There are probably a lot of people who have high hopes for the Phantom Thieves.
So Mishima's like our support, basically, in the real world.
So
Mishima's our PR manager. Where do I live? I live in Pennsylvania. What probably a lot of people would call Pennsyltucky. We're currently in the spot of Pennsylvania where it's -1 degrees with about a -25 wind chill. So I'm just gonna spend my weekend sitting inside playing video games.
Do you believe in the Phantom Thieves or not?
So only 6% of the world believes in the Phantom Thieves right now.
I hope someday my forum is filled with support for
But I mean, that's pretty good. So
I'd really like to
take
help
it.
out in the Phantom Thieves' acts of justice. Can I, please?
He's so eager. I don't know how we could possibly turn him down. He wants to help so bad. So we'll let him go for it.
I'll live up to your expectations. I promise.
And so now we have a new social link, and now we get to watch another Psy interrogation flashback.
Besides the public's reaction to your group, there were others who supported you.
And again, so this is Makoto's older sister.
Someone who
For anyone who missed a lot of the early, I know people are coming in and out of here, so everybody may not be on the same page. I don't know if some people are coming into this never seeing the game before, if people who are watching this have already played it. So if it sounds like I'm saying things that are obvious, I don't intend to. I just want to try and make sure that, people who are coming in just to watch for the story because they don't like the game or they don't want to play a 130-hour RPG for whatever reason, I want to make sure that they have an idea of where we're at story-wise. So it may sound like I'm restating things sometimes, but I want to make sure that everybody at least has a rough idea of where we're at. So we have another new social link unlocked.
All right.
We got like 5 or 6 down and another like 12 or 13 to unlock, I think.
See you.
I think there's like 17 or 18 social links. I can't remember how many, but there's a ton.
We heard all that.
But we're still pretty early on, so we'll get there.
Jeez. It was a little awkward trying to figure out when to walk over here.
So that forum is Mishima-kun's.
So you haven't actually played it the whole way through, Marcus. It's a great game. Like it was easily my favorite game of 2017. It was a really tough call for me to choose between Persona 5 and Breath of the Wild. But I really ended up enjoying Persona 5 a little bit more, I think. It was just, I've loved JRPGs even since I was a kid.
I think it'll be fine.
And
they seem to be playing it cool.
5 is just like, it's like everything that I like about JRPGs, but they got rid of almost everything I didn't like. The combat's so good, everything's so stylish, the soundtrack's great. It was definitely my favorite game of the year last year.
I guess we should have a little chat.
So I was really excited to play it again. I've been kind of waiting to play it again. I wanted to wait until it was a little less fresh in my mind before I got back into it.
May prove unexpectedly useful.
Anyways, we gotta get looking for a new target.
And we need to stay sharp until we manage to find one. Once we do, we'll have to head into another palace. So we should prep our equipment and...
Wait! Oh, crap!
What's with
I'm surprised to hear somebody say that they play Dark Souls because they think it's easier than turn-based. Like me personally, I've always been.
So we have an exam coming up?
Maybe it's just because I'm getting older. My reflexes are shit. But I'm worse at action RPGs now than I am at turn-based. I'm still pretty good at turn-based stuff. But man, the only Dark Souls I've even ever played was Dark Souls 1. And I can't remember what boss I got to, and I was just completely stuck, and I could never beat it. I only made it like 20 hours into Dark Souls or so. And then that was the point where I hit a wall. And then after that, I've never played a Dark Souls game past 1. I really can't remember what the hell the boss was. I think it might have been that spider. It might have been that spider boss in like the... God, this is gonna be a horrible explanation because it's been so long.
I'd rather that than be.
But like that weird spider lady in the city. I know that's an awful explanation. But yeah, I stopped at Dark Souls. So it's not a series I'm very familiar with, unfortunately. I'm definitely more of a turn-based RPG guy these days versus the action-y types. I mean, I can still play, like your Skyrims and Fallout and stuff like that. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. And I think that was the last boss I managed to get to. And the worst part was Blighttown kicked my ass anyway. I was awful. That was like the worst zone for me ever. It was a complete slog for me to even make it to that boss. And then I think once I got to her, I struggled so much that eventually I got frustrated and I ended up putting it down.
Even your Japanese is questionable.
So after that, that was it for Dark Souls for me.
What's questionable is whether you're really even a human. Good comeback, huh?
I do want to maybe try and play, I know that Nier Automata is supposed to be more of like an action type RPG, but I know that was supposed to be really good too. I never played the first Nier, so I kind of have a big backlog of PS4 stuff because I just recently... Wow, yeah, see, you must be way better at Dark Souls than I am then, because I had a rough time.
Bring it.
Ryuji and Mona just, they're always, they give each other shit the entire freaking game, I think.
Will you two stop it?
But yeah, I have a pretty big backlog of PS4 stuff I want to play, because I just finally got one recently, after only playing PC games, like, forever. Okay. So it looks like today is not Momentous Day. Maybe tomorrow is.
Let's do it.
Let me save real quick. We just went through a ton of story. Give me just one second, guys. It'll be just 1 minute. I gotta take a break real quick. So just sit tight here and listen to the soundtrack for a second. I'll be right back shortly. Okay. Sorry about the short break there. All right, so let's see what we have to do here. I still really want to. Let's see who wants to hang out. Oh, we can finally unlock. We can finally unlock on Social Link. We should really do that. We're running out of days until midterms, and I really want to get my knowledge up to. I'd really like to get my knowledge to level 2. Let's see here. Do we want to work on today? Ryuji wants to hang out. I don't think we're ready to rank up with Ryuji yet, so we're gonna put him on the back burner for right now. We could level up on. We'll hang out with On during the day, I think. Right, I don't think we have a lot of other options right now. Well, we could hang out with the Doctor. We're not ready to rank up with the Doctor yet either. Oh, I do want to go to... I want to hit up the vending machine in the courtyard. Make sure I get the SPE sodas. I don't think I did that yet this week. Yeah. This is like the easiest way to get SP restoration items early on. Pretty much all you have is hitting up the vending machines once a week. I think I already did the other ones. Oh yeah, I actually watched someone play a little bit of Bloodborne. I think it's the same thing. I know it's supposed to be a great game. I'd probably suck really bad at it. I don't know. I think just something with Dark Souls doesn't click with me. But I'm sure Bloodborne's gotta be dirt cheap now. So maybe I'll have to pick it up for myself one of these days. I'm sure I could find it somewhere for like $10. I should pick it up and at least try it. Maybe one of these days, when, you know, another month from now when I'm done with Persona. It'd be something I wouldn't mind trying to play on stream. I don't know how much fun it would be for anybody else to watch, because I would probably suck really bad. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I may have to check that out. I don't know if it'd be something anyone would enjoy watching me play, unless you just want to watch someone suck really bad at video games. But, alright, let's run to Shibuya real quick. I'm gonna check the arcade. I want to make sure I got all the SP items. I know I got the ones in the back streets in Yongajaya. I can't remember if I got the one at the arcade or not. So let's make a pit stop here real quick, and then I think we'll hang out with On. But then tonight we're gonna try and yeah, I would be in serious need of some coaching, I think. My action RPG skills are not good anymore. They were never great. I think the last action-y type game I really even played was oh man. What the hell was the game on Wii U? The Fire Emblem, or not the Fire Emblem Warriors, the Hyrule Warriors was the last action type RPG I really played, and I wasn't great at that either. I just my button mashing skills are not what they used to be. I need a slower paced game. We'll grab the new book. Okay, so let's see here. Let me save real quick. Yeah, I think we're gonna go hang out with On. Yeah, I would definitely. I would probably need some help. because man, I would suck really bad.
I should write something.
But okay, let's go back to school. Let's go see On. We'll hang out with her, and then tonight I think we're gonna go and I think we'll study. We'll study at LeBlanc and see if we can. We'll see if we can get our knowledge to level 2 so we can do decent on our exams. Okay, On. Let's hang. We're finally starting to make some decent progress on our social links. It's been... The first couple hours is definitely a slow start before you get to the first palace, but then, you know, you get a lot of good action in the palace.
Thanks.
There's a lot of story after Kamoshida again. It's like I said, I think I said this already once today, but it kind of goes in like waves. You know, you get a lot of action type gameplay. You know, you're going real hard in the palace or mementos or whatever, but then you get that break in between while you're waiting. Mona can't even bear to watch us hanging out with On because he's in love with her too. See, so we named him Brother so we can almost pretend that when we get addressed by name that, you know, On is Hulk Hogan. Listen, brother, there's something I want to talk to you about, brother. I've never actually even heard of, what is that, Tales of Berseria? I've honestly never even heard of that before. Is that a PS4? PS4 game? I'm not up on my console stuff. I think I said already. I've played basically PC games only for the longest time. I had consoles when I was a kid, but for the last probably 8 or 9 years, all I've really had is PC. So in the last year, I got both a Switch and a PS4, so I'm kind of getting back into console stuff. I haven't played a ton of console stuff though, so I'm definitely not up on what everything is at this point. So again, for anybody not familiar, Shiho is On's best friend. She was a classmate at our school. She was one of the ones, she was being sexually harassed by Kamoshida. And eventually she couldn't take it anymore and she tried to kill herself. She didn't actually kill herself. She survived, but she jumped off the roof of the school. She's in the hospital. I'd say she was On's best friend, so On's still pretty broken up about it. A lot of On's social link is her dealing with Shiho. I'll have to check that game out. I'll have to put that on my list. I have a huge list of stuff that I want to play on PS4. I've never played. I played League a tiny bit, and by a tiny bit, I honestly mean like just a couple matches. I also played a little bit of Dota. I played Dota more when I was a kid, and it was like the Warcraft map still, because I used to love playing Warcraft 3 back in the day. So I remember playing it vaguely as the Warcraft mod versus like the more modern. It's the same thing though. It's like I suck really bad at the MOBAs, and I think I'd get pretty bored with after the first couple hours of people just telling me I suck real bad. I'm dragging the team down the whole game. I think I'd just get sick of it. So I didn't spend a lot of time with those. So On was getting harassed by Kamoshida too. Kamoshida was trying to get On to sleep with him. Kamoshida basically told On that if she didn't sleep with him, he was going to kick Shiho off the team.
Oh. Thanks.
We were on shoulder to cry on in the beginning of the game. I don't know how many of you have been watching from the beginning. I know there's not even a lot of people here. We've had people kind of coming in and out, so I don't know where everybody's at story-wise. But it's surprising you wouldn't think it looking at On, because you know she seems like she'd be like super cool and popular and everything. But On was, it's almost like On was too attractive, so it seemed like everybody thought she was too stuck up, and you know, So she was kind of the same boat as us, so she was kind of a misfit at school. Same thing with Ryuji. I mean, well, it wasn't that nobody liked Ryuji because he was too hot. It was just that there was a whole thing with Kamoshida and the track team and Ryuji, and you know, so basically all of our party members are all kind of the misfits of school right now. Yeah, I never felt like I was that great either. Like, I liked playing Warcraft when I was a kid, just as, you know, it was fun then, but it wasn't, you know, when I was playing Warcraft 3 on Battle.net, you know, freaking 15 years ago or whatever, it wasn't quite the same as it is now. You know, the level of, I guess the skill floor is just so much higher. Like, you know, if you try and play Dota or even like StarCraft, you know, those type of games now, I feel like if you're trying to get in, it's tough. And yeah, I was the same way. Like, I played Hearthstone. Actually, the only reason I played Hearthstone was I wanted to unlock the mount in WoW. So I did the achievement. I did the achievement to unlock the mount in WoW, and it took me a while to win those 5 games or whatever it was. Yeah, I could say turn-based falls under strategy to a point. Like, one of my favorite genres of JRPG is actually like the Final Fantasy Tactics type thing, or like Disgaea. I've never played Fire Emblem, but I guess you could kind of put that in the same category. So I do like the strategy type RPGs versus like the action. I would say, like, you know, your Warcraft and your StarCraft are a little bit different than like a Final Fantasy Tactics or a, you know, Disgaea, Fire Emblem type thing. But I do like strategy JRPGs. I didn't finish Disgaea. I probably put a good, 60 or 70 hours into it. It's a long game. But I did enjoy that. I played it on Switch. That was one of the first games I got for my Switch after Breath of the Wild, and I did like that. And I played Final Fantasy Tactics a ton when I was a kid. I actually played some of, I think it's Ogre Battle, not Ogre Battle, Tactics Ogre on PlayStation, and then I've also played Ogre Battle 64, which was one of my favorites. I remember that one. At least it was my favorite when I was younger. I don't know if that's nostalgia or not, but I really enjoyed that one when I was a kid. I don't know how good it is now. Okay, so we talked on a whole bunch about Shiho. We ranked up our social link again, and as you rank up the social links for the actual playable party members, they usually unlock new abilities in battle. So On can help us, which that should actually help me a lot, because I have horrible luck with negotiations. I don't know if anybody watched my last couple streams in Kamoshida's Palace, but we had a couple close calls trying to negotiate with Bareth. So I am horrible at negotiations. So the ability we just unlocked for On is it'll let her, she has a chance to step in and save our asses and give us another chance if I screw up the negotiating. So that could be pretty useful for us, at least for right now. So I'm not very good at the negotiations in general, but I honestly, I don't even know if it's possible to really be good at them. They're so nonsensical that I feel like the negotiations are more luck than anything else. But as we start unlocking some of the other social links, like Sun, the Sun social link helps a lot with negotiating, and so does the Tower social link. But we can finally leave at night. Sojiro, my #1 bro. So we can finally leave LeBlanc and Young and Jaya at night, which opens up quite a few new options for us. We can... I played a good bit of Quake 3 Arena back in the day. Never a ton of Unreal Tournament. I don't remember what version of Unreal Tournament I played.
Just add this.
But it's kind of the same thing as like my Twitch shooting skills. I'm horrible at shooters now. The last shooter I hadn't played a shooter in a long time. I used to play a lot of Call of Duty back in the day, but they got pretty samey, so I didn't really enjoy those very much. And then the last shooter I really played was, I guess, PUBG, and my skills in PUBG are pretty hit and miss. I got bored with it after, like, I forget how much time. I think like maybe 60 or 70 hours I put in, but I haven't played in a while. So if anybody is, I hope I have the sound up enough that you guys can actually hear the soundtrack, and I'm probably spending a lot of time talking over it. But so the theme, the nighttime theme has changed a little bit. There's lyrics now. The first part of the game is all instrumental, but I really like it with the lyrics. It's a pretty chill song, which is good because you're going to be hearing a lot of it. So we need to decide how we want to spend our next couple days here before midterms, because it's like I said, I would really like to get to Knowledge 2, but being able to go out at night unlocks a few new things for us. Namely, let me think. Oh, we can hang out with Mishima. We can hang out with Mishima at night, eventually. So Awai is the gun shop guy, and we'll go check on him. I don't think we have enough guts to talk to him about the gun yet, so we probably can't do anything with him. Speech-giving man is the Sun Confidant. I do want to get started on him very soon. I think we're still going to spend some time studying first, though. So I think, let's go see what our options are, though. So now being able to go out at night, we can start working some of the night jobs. The night job, I think the only night job we have available to us now is the Beef Bowl. But the Beef Bowl job is how you actually unlock the Sun Confidant at the beginning of it. Let's go at least, I think you have to at least talk to him once, so he tells you to go work at the Beef Bowl. So let's at least talk to him real quick.
Please consider what I have to say.
Yeah, so this is the Sun Confidant, and this guy's actually, he's pretty cool. He's like a disgraced politician from way back in the day, but I really enjoyed his social link. We need more guys like him today, unfortunately. Because basically his story is he was a shitty politician way back in the day. He basically got in, you know, he basically got a whole bunch of money from big donors and rode in on a wave of a bunch of politicians who got bought with money. And he did a horrible job, but then he lost his job, and it made him realize what a shit job he did, pretty much. And it motivates him to really try and actually come back and do the right thing. We are interested in politics. Okay, so I think we needed to at least talk to him once so we get that. So we can get that event.
Oh.
Yeah. So now that we know he hangs out at the Beef Bowl, and we already applied for the job, so we can do that one of these days. Let's go talk to Awai real quick. I don't think we have enough guts to do that. A couple other things we can do. Let me check the bookstore real quick. A couple other things we can do. We can take the burger challenge at the Big Bang Burger. I don't think we can succeed yet. I think the first rank of the burger challenge, you need to have all of the stats at rank 2, which we're super close, but we're not quite there yet. Honestly, you may not even need knowledge, but I'm pretty sure you do, so we'll just sit on that because I don't want to waste a night if we're not going to be able to do it. Let's go see Awai. I'm pretty sure we need more guts to talk to him about the bag. So we won't be able to do that until later. We'll have to come back for that.
Hey.
No, we don't have enough guts.
Come on.
Favorite party members?
Come again.
I like Dawn a lot as well. But On's useful as a support because she can kind of do a little bit of both, you know, so you get the healing and the elemental attacks. My party the first playthrough was On, Makoto, and Ryuji. They were pretty much all my favorites. Honestly, it's probably going to be the same party makeup this time through just because I really liked all those guys. Haru didn't do much for me. I really did not like Yusuke. Yusuke was really creepy. He just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And Yusuke's a fucking weirdo anyway. I know some people really like Yusuke, so please don't get offended that I don't like him. But, so everybody's still talking about Kamoshida. But actually, see, I think I actually really did like Ryuji. And I think the problem with Ryuji is Ryuji does seem like kind of a dick at first. He kind of seems like an idiot and a hothead. But as I progressed Ryuji's social link, I really liked him. He's kind of a nice comic relief. Okay, so we can't do anything with the Y yet. We are not going to work at the Beef Bowl tonight.
Welcome.
Do we want to buy any of this right now? No, I don't think we want to buy any of this right now. We'll buy this just to have it. The black items are things you use. You can fuse them with a persona later on to make an item. It doesn't hurt to have one of those. But we're not going to spend our money on this right now. This is all shit we don't need. So we are going to go to the diner and study because I really want to get knowledge up to level 2. I know some of this may seem boring to you guys, but I think tomorrow we'll finally be done with like story type stuff. After this last in-game day, I think tomorrow is Mementos Day. I think, and then so we'll be digging into Mementos. Yeah, I know they really played up Ryuji and Mona pretty much the whole game through. It really got annoying around the middle, like around that 5th palace. I don't want to say too much about the 5th palace right now. But there is a point where Mona leaves the party. That was when they really played up the whole Ryuji and Mona thing, and it was almost too much. It was kind of cheesy. So let's go study. We really gotta get smart here. We want to have really good brains. I'm really hoping tonight will be the night we can get knowledge too. But we will see. Let's take the coffee, because we're going to need more guts anyway to talk to a Y. So let's do that now. I don't think there's a lot of point, like, even right now, because it's only Friday, even if we went to the Beef Bowl shop, I think the only day you can actually progress the Sun Confidant is Sundays. So even if we went to the Beef Bowl shop tonight, it wouldn't really actually help us make any progress with the politician.
All right.
So I really want to get these stats up. Still didn't do it. It sucks because if this was a New Game Plus run, you get to carry over all your money and your social stats. So you can start out your New Game Plus with a ton of money, which makes your life a lot easier, and you also don't have to worry about doing your social stats, like, since they're already maxed. So you save a ton of time. Like, all these nights that we've spent studying, that type of stuff, we could be spending it doing something else. You have a lot more free time in a New Game Plus run versus a regular run, which unfortunately we are not doing. But that's okay. It's like, we're still going to get to see most of what I want to show off, I think. I already have some plans for how we're going to do that, and some of the little tricks I want to show off.
Hey!
And so if you were paying attention, when we had that flashback to the negotiation scene with Sai, she brought up that guy named Madarame, and she told us that he was our next target. And, well, you can see, so the Madarame exhibit is coming to town next week. So we've got a little bit of foreshadowing going on here. So we're going to have even more story progress coming up very shortly.
Yep. Open your textbooks.
And so there's actually a persona named Kaguya. It's one of the DLC ones in this one. In Persona 4, Kaguya was the ultimate persona if you maxed out Marie's social link. Now see, if I had to say soundtrack-wise, again, if you're watching this later in video, this won't make a lot of sense. So I'll try and we're talking in chat about the soundtracks of 4 and 5. And I do agree, Persona 4 was definitely more, I mean, it's weird because you know, so Joker's like 17, and the main character in Persona 4 is also, you know, 17. You're pretty much always like 17 years old, getting ready to finish high school. But I felt like the characters in 5 were much more adult than the characters in 4. You know, I liked it. I actually really liked the soundtrack in 5. I mean, they're all good. I think 3, 4, and 5 all had excellent soundtracks, but I think 5 would be my favorite.
You know the
and
answer?
Beneath the Mask is, I have to say, it's one of my favorite tunes in the game. Woman who leads men to their doom. This is definitely a femme fatale. Let's see. Yeah, the internet nailed it. Okay. Beneath the Mask was one of my favorite songs in 5. I really like the sub-boss theme. I like the Awakening theme, the song that plays when the characters get their persona. The boss theme's great. Really, there's not too many tracks in 5 that I don't like. And so, the wild, seductive dancer of opera, Carmen. That should sound pretty familiar to anybody who's been watching, because that's An's persona.
Nice going.
There we go. We finally hit it. So now we don't have to worry so much about knowledge. Yeah, I can see what you're saying with Beneath the Mask.
All right.
So I think now that we hit knowledge 2, I don't think we can hit top of the class in the first exam, but I think with knowledge 2 we can at least do decent in the exam. Like, we won't totally bomb it. And I can't remember if we get anything for at least doing okay with it, but we'll at least give it a whirl and see.
Good. Everyone's just bitching about their parents or their boyfriends.
And I think also, now that we have all of our social stats at least level 2, I think we can go do the first challenge at the Beef Burger. So we'll do that one of these nights when we have a free night.
There ain't even a hint about a new palace.
Those are pretty useful. I believe you get an accessory that gets upgraded as you keep doing the successive challenges, and you also get a boost to all your stats from doing it. So we'll definitely want to make sure we hit that up.
We can't get everything online. Finding a post with a name and location is asking a lot.
Guess we just gotta find one ourselves then.
Come on, Mona. Show me mementos.
Seriously suggesting we look for a target that even the police have overlooked?
Yeah, you're right. We should probably just hold off till exams are done with, huh? We can wait and see for a little longer, then worry about coming up empty-handed if it happens.
Who could that be?
This place is off limits, you know.
So Makoto's been sniffing around still. She's following us.
We'll get out of here once we're done chatting. Anyways,
That's it.
what's this
Makoto,
council
they
president
try and make her
got
kind of
with us?
unlikable in the beginning, I think. But once she becomes a party member, I really ended up liking her.
Rumor and the infamous transfer student. Interesting combination.
So she's playing detective.
Great way to start a conversation.
By the way, it seems as though you got to know Mr. Kamoshida pretty well.
We'll be a dick.
Are you playing dumb with me?
No, I'm actually just that dumb. I'm only level 2 knowledge.
It just goes to show how little interaction he had with him.
I heard Mr. Kamoshida used a volleyball team member to spread details of your past record. Don't you hate him? Mr. Kamoshida, I mean.
What's all this about? My friend here's an upstanding guy.
Ooh, and
I
do
don't
nothing to
mean to
nobody.
offend. Many students have been shaken up by what happened with Mr. Kamoshida. The rumors about that odd calling card-esque posting aren't going away either.
Wow, it probably would have helped if Ryuji hadn't put up 400 different calling cards on the website. But that's okay.
I didn't expect someone like you would care about that tactless stuff, Mijima-senpai.
I'm reading your message now. Never noticed. Ann's hair makes no sense. One pigtail should be shorter than the other. The part isn't even on both sides of her hair. No, I have to say I never would have picked up on that. I don't have that level of attention to detail, unfortunately. But that's good looking out. I definitely would have never picked up on that on my own.
Anyways, we done here? We can't leave if you keep talking to us.
I guess it does. If you really look at it, it does. The one side is a lot longer. Like in terms of the part's not right down the middle. So I see what you're saying.
At least try to understand my position.
I'm still learning new stuff after 100 and some hours.
Horseplay?
Ah, yes, by the way. It's been decided that this place will be closed off due to the incident.
So Makoto's gonna kick us out of our ramshackle hideout here.
I heard some people are coming up here without permission, after all.
They play her off in the beginning, like, they play Makoto off as the real bitch in the beginning, but...
I'm sorry to have interrupted you.
She comes around, and we don't realize it yet, but Makoto's dealing with a lot of shit on her own. And a lot of it's not necessarily her fault. She gets a lot of stuff thrown on her, so...
She's onto us. That girl seems rather sharp. We should be cautious of her.
She can't prove it, though.
She really pisses me off.
We'll be fine. Or will we?
Yeah, talk about a pain in the ass.
That reminds me. Study hard. Especially you, Ryuji. There are bound to be traps that will need to be solved with brains.
Poor Ryuji. Everyone just thinks he's
Keep
so
in mind
dumb.
that everything you do in your daily lives has an impact on your abilities.
True. Studying won't be so bad if we just think of it as helping us prepare to be phantom thieves.
I guess you got a point. But man, it's just so lame. I was all fired up about helping people, not about studying.
Well, I do have somewhere interesting to show you
Okay,
beforehand.
this is finally it. So,
You guys did originally
Mona is gonna
promise
take
to
us
help
to
me out with
Mementos
my
now.
mission after
I've been
all.
waiting almost 2 hours for this.
Huh? Mission?
Follow me.
So we'll get to see basically the non-palace dungeon of Persona 5.
What are you bringing us here for?
Just do as I told you.
All right, I've got the Phantom Aficionado website up. Now what?
Look for a post with a full name in it.
I already said there's no info on any big shots, don't you remember? But man, people actually go put someone's real name on here. That's some scary shit.
You won't listen to what I say.
And basically, that's
No,
what we're
wait.
doing. They're just
There's
reading
no
off
name on
posts
this
on
one.
that. So that website that Mishima started, the whole purpose of Mishima's website is for regular people to put up postings of people they think the Phantom Thieves should help or change their hearts, I guess. That's how Mishima wants to help us, is to help us find
Someone's
targets.
bad-mouthing me in online chat
But
rooms.
most of these are pretty. These are, small fry type deals.
Ignore those. Aren't there any posts about more serious trouble?
I don't know what to do about my ex who's stalking me. His name is Natsuhiko Nakanohara.
That's quite a mouthful of a name.
It says he's a teller at City Hall.
A government worker stalking someone?
So this is going to be our first Mementos excursion.
That should be a suitable target.
Basically, the way Mementos works is it's like a palace made out of the subway system, and Mementos is based on the public consciousness. So it's not a palace specific to one person, like Kamoshida's was. It's a palace based on basically the collective unconsciousness of
Fine by me.
the entire population.
Hey, what
And
happened
it,
to all that talk of unanimous
but that's so
decision?
basically this is a place you can go in between the major palaces. It never has like major bosses in it.
What do you think we should do?
It's mostly small fries. But
That's what I'm talking about.
it'll expand as we
then,
clear
let's
palaces.
go.
We can get deeper. It's almost like if you've
We
played
need a name and
Persona.
a place, right?
If you've played
So the
Persona
name
3,
is-
Mementos is a lot like Tartarus. it really works a lot like Tartarus. It starts out pretty small. Each zone kind of has its own theme to it, and it slowly expands as you progress through the story.
Actually, we don't need a location this time. Just enter exactly
And this
what I
was,
say.
a lot of the criticism I've read around 5 is a lot of people don't like Mementos for whatever reason. They feel like it's too boring because it's not handmade like the palaces are. Mementos is just randomly generated. But I still really enjoyed
The
it.
key word is mementos.
Huh?
Yeah, the Igor voice actor in 5 was a real trip for me after hearing Igor. Like, you listen to Igor in 3 and 4, and he sounds, I don't know if the voice actor between 3 and 4 was the same, but he sounds pretty similar. And then you listen to Igor in 5, and it sounds like Igor that chain smoked a pack of cigarettes every day for the last 20 years. And it's a real trip at first, especially until you get later on.
Jeez, that again? Mementos, was it?
Actually, Ryuji, it's Meme Mentos.
We got a hit?
Just as I thought.
Alright, so let's check it out. Ready to do a little bit of exploring here.
Everyone disappeared. It kind of feels like I'm walking on air.
Is this that Nakanohara guy's palace?
I don't have anything to fuse right now. That's why we're going to spend some time in here. I want to pick up some more personas, especially now that we can carry more personas. I want to try and fill out some more of the compendium today with what we can get. But right before the end of Kamoshida's palace, I did a good bit of fusing. I wanted to get some higher level personas before we fought Kamoshida for real.
Come on.
So right now we only have 3 personas. They're all decently, I mean, we're only level 11. And I think 2 of our personas are level 11 and 1's level 10. I'll make sure to show my personas once we get control over the character again. Because I guess it's been like 2 hours of story. Someone just coming in now has no idea what I'm working with persona-wise.
Underground?
But now that we can carry more, we're gonna try and fill out our persona stock again, and we are gonna do some more fusions today.
How? You use it every day on your way to school. Follow me.
Wait up, Cat.
Oh yeah, we get to watch Mona turn into a car. I forgot all about that.
The hell is this place?
This is Mementos.
Wait, our clothes changed?
It's the subway palace.
The shadows know we're here?
Since the moment we stepped in,
You should have told us.
we're still safe right here. I've come to investigate a number of times. Shadows never come up to this floor. But it's a different story once you go down.
And so Mementos is pretty long. It's we'll do it in chunks. You want to keep up on Mementos. You don't want to neglect it. I mean, it's technically an optional dungeon, but for story reasons, you really want to keep up on it as you can, or you're in for a pretty big slog later on in the game because you'll have to power through all of it.
More importantly, what is
I don't
this
think we'll be able to go
Mementos?
very
It's
deep
about time
the
you
first
start
time.
Explaining.
If I remember right,
Mementos is everyone's palace.
so Mona's basically explaining what I just explained.
Huh?
But I think
do you mean
the first
everyone's?
section of Mementos is only like 3 or 4 floors. It's not very long.
A palace as grand as the previous
We're still gonna
castle
spend a little bit of
only
time
forms
here
when
today.
a person's wishes are extremely distorted. So instead of many individual palaces, the general public has one gigantic shared palace.
Yeah, I really like Mementos. It's... But I always like the randomly generated dungeons. I
That's
like
where we
games
are
that
now.
have randomly generated layouts. Like, I really... I spent a lot of time playing, like, Binding of Isaac. God, I can't think of anything else offhand. But yeah, I mean, I really like those. I like the randomized dungeon
Now
crawler
that you
type deal.
mention it,
So...
this place feels a bit
I
different
always
from
enjoyed like
Kamoshida's
Tartarus
palace.
and Persona 3. I didn't mind the random layouts in 4. I really don't mind Mementos in 5. I know some people don't like it,
When you say shared, you mean they're all put together?
but I like
Even though they're
Mementos
just
a lot.
strangers?
Think of it
And
as
you
the
get to ride
collective
around in a kiddie
unconscious.
car in the subway. Won't work at anyone else.
No, never mind. You wouldn't understand that.
Sorry, Ryuji, you're too dumb.
So what you're saying is, using this place, we can even change the hearts of people who don't have a palace?
So the long and short of it is, the people who have twisted desires, but they're not super messed up like Kamoshida. It's for basically the people who are in between, that they have twisted desires, but they're not twisted enough to have their own palace. That's what Mementos is.
Correct. The steps to do so are slightly
It's like a
different,
catch-all
though.
for all the people who aren't quite crazy enough to have their own full-blown palace, more or less.
But this place looks pretty huge. Are we gonna be able to get around just by walking?
It seems the time has finally come.
Engage supercar mode.
Morgana! Transform!
Ah, yeah.
Come now, Panther. Ladies first.
Look at that beautiful Mona car.
A car?
No way!
This comes from the way cognition materializes in the metaverse. Plus a bit of extra training.
It's bet he couldn't have transformed into like a Gundam or something, you know, give me a super sweet car.
It's not dissimilar.
Or like,
You turned it into a
what the
car.
hell?
Totally
I can't remember what those
different
animal
car.
robots were called that the Power Rangers had, but give me one of those. Morgana could transform into a gigantic tiger robot we can ride around or
For
something.
some reason, cats turning into buses is an extremely widespread cognition among the general public.
Why a bus, though?
No idea.
Wait, why didn't you do this at the castle?
I would have if I could. But that castle was cramped. There were tons of stairs, and no way this fits on top of a chandelier.
Hey, Skull! Ladies first!
Alright, kids, everybody pile into the kitty
Stop
car.
pulling me. No, that's dangerous.
Panther!
If you kids don't stop fighting, we're gonna turn this kitty bus right around.
All aboard. Let's go.
Why are you all just sitting back there? I'm a car, remember?
Unfortunately, Mona's not a Tesla, he can't drive
I'm
himself.
not going anywhere unless someone drives me.
You can't drive yourself?
Do you know how to drive?
Sure, we can handle this.
Safety first, okay?
You'd better not smash up my beautiful face. You hear me?
All right then, we'll leave the driving to you.
Now start the engine. You can't drive if it's not running.
Jeez, what a pain. Where's the key to this thing?
Why would you need a key? There's a switch just down next to the steering wheel.
Alright,
That
squad.
tickles. Lower, lower. Oh, there. That feels so good.
Not weird at all. Totally normal.
Is that purring I hear? Oh, what a creepy-ass car.
Don't underestimate my meowdery engine.
Oh
We're
my
going full
gosh.
throttle.
The kitty pods are out of control right now. Okay. So we're finally ready to go.
Whoa.
So this is Mementos. And we are piloting our cat buddy, Mona, who is somehow turned into a car. And we are in the basically palace that is the subway station. Yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely feel like Persona 4 was definitely... I think it's more that the themes were different in 5 versus 4, like what they wanted to cover.
And again.
I feel like 5 was supposed to be more of a... I think they wanted to talk more about society as a whole in 5, so that's why you have like Mementos, and I don't want to get too much into the ending now. But I mean, if you've seen the ending, I think you know what I mean when they talk about, you know, how Mementos ties in and how basically the entire public consciousness and like the... You know, society is like one solid mind. I think it was meant to be more a commentary on society in general, whereas 4 was meant to be a commentary about individual struggles. You know, and you are right. Like 4 was definitely more about your individual characters and them overcoming, you know, what was going on in their minds. Like pretty much everybody Social Link, they had a major event that they were trying to deal with because of their shadow selves. So here we are. And I mean, the combat in here is basically, the layout's different, but the combat is just like a regular palace. You know, you roll up, ambush them with your kitty car, and same thing as usual. So let's see. We're gonna get slime again because I want to be able to have him defuse with. So we're gonna knock all these down, and we've already had slime once, so we can skip the recruitment process. And we'll just snag one. So we're gonna load up on personas. I want to fill out my persona slots again, and we're gonna do some fusing later. I'll make sure after this battle that I show off the. I'll make sure I show off the personas we do have right now, because I keep saying I'm gonna do it and I keep forgetting to. So we don't need to do the whole question and answer thing again.
Now's the time to retreat.
Let's see here.
All right.
Just one sec, because I'm gonna split the recording, so I don't have to split it later in software.